The March 10th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw was already shaping up to be one of the most unforgettable nights in WWE history. Madison Square Garden, a venue steeped in wrestling lore, provided the perfect stage for what was set to be a brutal, career-defining encounter between CM Punk and Seth Rollins inside a steel cage. Fans had been anticipating the match for weeks, knowing that both men carried an intensity and personal disdain for each other that went beyond the typical wrestling rivalry. However, what no one saw coming was the shocking return of Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, for one of these warriors. The match was a brutal, methodical affair, with both men pulling out every trick in their arsenal. Rollins, ever the opportunist, looked to use his superior speed and agility to counter Punk's veteran instincts and ruthless striking ability. Meanwhile, Punk, returning to his first major WWE feud in years, seemed determined to prove that he still belonged at the top of the mountain. Steel met flesh over and over again, only for Punk to respond moments later with a devastating GTS that left Rollins sprawled on the mat. Near falls came in rapid succession. It had been months since Reigns had last been seen in a dub alongside Reigns in the Shield, before their relationship fractured beyond repair. Locked eyes with the tribal chief. Punk, no stranger to Reigns, but having never truly squared off with him in a high-profile match, also knew that this was not just a cameo, this was war. Reigns made his way to ringside with the slow, methodical pacing of a man who knew he was still the true alpha of WWE. The shock turned to chaos as Reigns grabbed the cage door and yanked it off its hinges, a feat of sheer strength that left even the commentary team in stunned silence. In the confusion, Rollins attempted to escape, only for Reigns to pull him out of the cage. Punishment, then a reward. Before Rollins could process what had happened, Reigns delivered a thunderous spear that nearly folded him in half. Punk closed the door behind him. The next moments were a blur of violence. Reigns launching Punk into the steel, laying waste to his body with Superman punches and spears, each one delivered with the kind of merciless dominance that had made him the longest reigning champion of the modern era. It wasn't just an attack, it was a statement. Reigns wasn't just back. He was here to reclaim his place as the top dog in WWE. As the dust settled, Reigns stood tall, surveying the carnage he had left in his wake. The WWE Universe was left speechless. What did this mean for the future? Was Reigns gunning for Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship? Was Punk merely collateral damage? Or was the tribal chief targeting him as well? The questions swirled as Reigns calmly walked away, leaving behind two of the best wrestlers in the world, laid out in his wake. The implications of Reigns' return are massive. For one, this changes the entire landscape of WrestleMania 41. Rollins had been expecting to defend his title against Punk, but now, with Reigns re-entering the fray, the possibility of a monumental triple threat match looms large. Could WWE be setting up a match where three of the most decorated superstars of the modern era collide for championship gold? It certainly seems likely. Backstage, the energy was reportedly just as intense as it was in the arena. According to insiders, only a select few individuals knew that Reigns would be making his return that night. His re-emergence was kept under tight wraps, with even some talent in the locker room unaware of the plan. The moment he arrived at the building, security was instructed to keep his presence hidden, ensuring that no leaks would spoil the surprise. It's rare for WWE to keep such a massive return a complete secret in today's internet-driven world, but somehow, they managed to deliver a genuine shock that will be talked about for years to come. For CM Punk, this return spells a major challenge. He had already been struggling to prove himself after his dramatic return to WWE. And now, just when he thought he had a clear path to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns has thrown a massive wrench into his plans. Will Punk demand a one-on-one shot at Rollins? Or will he accept that he may have to go through both men to claim championship gold? His reaction in the coming weeks will be telling. As for Seth Rollins, his situation is even more precarious. He was already dealing with the intense mind games and physical battles brought on by Punk. But now, with Reigns in the mix, the odds of him walking into WrestleMania as champion seem to be dwindling. Rollins has a long history with both men, having betrayed Reigns years ago to dismantle the Shield, and having fought Punk in wars stretching across multiple promotions. Now, all those past decisions are coming back to haunt him. Reigns' return also raises the question of whether he will be bringing any backup. The bloodline has been fragmented in recent months, with Jimmy and Jey Uso going their separate ways, and Solo Sikoa carving his own path. Is there a possibility that Reigns will attempt to reassemble his once dominant faction, or is he returning as a lone wolf, looking to conquer WWE on his own terms? WWE executives must be thrilled with the impact of Reigns' return. Ratings for this episode of Raw are expected to be astronomical, and the buzz surrounding the moment is likely to drive significant interest in the road to WrestleMania. With the main event picture now in complete disarray, fans are left to speculate what comes next. Will Rollins and Punk team up to try and neutralize Reigns? Will Triple H or another authority figure step in to restore order? The possibilities are endless. Social media exploded in the aftermath of the show. Hashtags like #Roman Reigns returns and #WrestleMania 41 trended worldwide within minutes. Some fans cheered Reigns' return, seeing it as the missing piece in an already incredible WrestleMania build-up. Others lamented the potential shift in focus, worrying that Punk's long-awaited moment could be overshadowed by Reigns' return to dominance. Regardless of where one stands, there's no denying that WWE just delivered one of the most shocking moments in modern wrestling history. CM Punk's involvement in this storyline adds another layer of unpredictability. Since making his WWE return at Survivor Series 2023, Punk has been vocal about his disdain for Rollins, which led to their bitter feud over the past few months. Punk, who was on the cusp of victory inside the steel cage on Raw, had his moment stolen by Reigns' interference. This naturally sets the stage for a three-way war rather than just a singles match between Roman and Seth. Punk's role in this feud could go one of two ways. Either he directly inserts himself into the title picture by demanding justice for Reigns' attack, or he forms an uneasy alliance with Rollins against Reigns before eventually turning on him. Given Punk's history of always wanting to be the best in the business, he won't sit on the sidelines while Rollins and Reigns battle it out. If Punk gets his way, he will make sure that he walks into WrestleMania 41 as part of the main event. With all three men having unresolved issues, WWE could be setting up a blockbuster triple threat match for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41. This wouldn't be the first time a major WrestleMania main event involved three competitors, with past classics such as WrestleMania 20, Benoit vs. Triple H vs. Shawn Michaels, and WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan vs. Batista vs. Randy Orton, proving the format can be legendary when executed correctly. A triple threat match would allow WWE to protect Roman Reigns' aura while giving Seth Rollins and CM Punk the spotlight they deserve. Additionally, a three-way match increases the unpredictability factor, as neither competitor would need to be pinned directly to lose. If Punk were to win at WrestleMania, he could theoretically pin Rollins instead of Reigns, preserving the Tribal Chief's dominance while still crowning a new champion. Another major aspect of this feud is the potential involvement of the Bloodline. While Solo Sikoa has seemingly taken over leadership in Reigns' absence, it's unclear where the faction stands now that Roman has returned. Could Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso realign with Reigns and assist him in dismantling both Rollins and Punk? Or will Solo assert himself as the new leader, leading to an internal Bloodline struggle? These factors could significantly impact how this feud plays out heading into WrestleMania. Despite losing the World Heavyweight Championship, Seth Rollins remains a key figure in WWE. His rivalry with Roman Reigns is arguably one of the most personal feuds in the company's history. If WrestleMania 41 marks the final chapter of this saga, Rollins will be seeking redemption. Unlike past encounters where Reigns found ways to escape defeat, Rollins will be desperate to prove that he can defeat Roman decisively. Rollins has never lost clean to Reigns in a high-stakes title match, which makes this potential WrestleMania encounter even more intriguing. Could this be the moment where Rollins finally dethrones his former Shield brother? Or will Roman, fueled by his return, once again cement his place as WWE's most dominant force? With only a few weeks left until WrestleMania 41, all eyes will be on Reigns, Rollins, and Punk. The next episodes of Raw and SmackDown will be must-watch television, as the fallout from Reigns' return continues to unfold. One thing is for certain. The Tribal Chief is back, and he has once again changed the entire game. The only question left is, who, if anyone, can stop him?